Kia ora ana ko tātou katoa. So here we are, another week into our COVID outbreak, but also another week closer to coming out the other side. Our new case numbers appear to be levelling off this week. On Monday, we had a high of 189 positive cases, with numbers dropping down to 160 for both Wednesday and Tuesday, and then 136 positive cases yesterday. So we will be monitoring closely to see if this trend continues. So as of 8 a.m. this morning, we have recorded a total of 3,171 positive cases to date, with 2,319 recovered and 852 currently active. We also have 1,080 individual household contacts in quarantine right now, for a total of just under 2,000 people either in isolation or quarantine. So we are seeing the peaking of infections right now. So with the additional people in isolation, this is when we will be at our busiest. Both our TMO staff and the Puna staff are seeing now, which is why all of us are required to take on a little bit more personal responsibility. And we're seeing things like self-testing and looking out for each other. I know that businesses are also feeling the pinch, which is why I am so glad that we made the essential worker passes available to ease the workload. It is pleasing to see so many of us helping those in isolation by delivering food and essential bottles of supplies for some. Now, this is what we're seeing, our real Kia ora ana spirit in action. So let's keep it up. For most of us, it is only 7 days that we are being asked to isolate. Our essential worker pass is doing a good job of easing those pressures. However, with 700 worker passes issued so far, that's really helping out quite a few. Mei te kimata to Emergency Management Cook Islands, to Te Marae Ora, and also to Cook Islands Tourism and all the other agencies involved for ensuring a rapid and smooth rollout of our worker passes to allow people to still be able to get out and work. On the labour front, last week I announced amendments that would be making our entry requirements take effect from the 1st of May, which would support the entry of international workers into our country. I'm pleased that today Air New Zealand has just announced a special one-way airfare for newly recruited workers travelling from Fiji to the Cook Islands to coincide with our 1st of May start date. I'm informed by my immigration officials that processing has been underway over the last weeks for about 40 workers already. So with up to 40 seats available on each flight until the end of June, and daily flights planned from Nandi on the 1st of May, this removes the need for a costly charter flight and will give our Cook Islands businesses another much-needed option in terms of recruiting new staff, especially when our arrivals numbers are increasing. We're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. So let's give our businesses and our government departments a little bit of slack during this busy time of highest isolations. Patience is a virtue at this time, and a smile goes a long way to showing your appreciation and understanding while we get through this peak. Our current advice from TMO is that on Rarotonga, the outbreak is about to peak in the next week, and the number of new cases per day should begin to drop away from then onwards. At the same time, cases in Aitutaki are growing, with a total of 34 active cases today and more expected in the coming weeks. This is exactly how we hoped this outbreak would play out, allowing us to shift the attention and the focus of our health services towards Aitutaki, just as case numbers in Rarotonga are beginning to decrease. Accordingly, we will be relaxing a few more public health measures on Rarotonga this coming week. And we're also looking at dropping all travel restrictions to Aitutaki by the 1st of May, with discussions on that currently underway with the island government. From Thursday the 14th of April, RAT tests will no longer be required for contact sport on Rarotonga, although this requirement will remain in place for contact sports on Aitutaki. I know this will be a welcome announcement by many of the sports athletes and codes that are waiting for an update on the testing situation. Also, from the 14th of April, we are increasing the indoor gathering limit to 100 and removing the limits for outdoor gatherings altogether. Looking further ahead to May, we are also considering removing the need for inbound travellers to the Cook Islands to undergo a pre-departure RAT or PCR test. Australia are set to remove this as a requirement of entry into their country from the 18th of April, and the expectation is that we will follow theirs and New Zealand's lead soon after. With regard to the Pāinua travel, at this stage we are looking at a border opening date of 18th of April for the Southern Group and April the 25th for the Northern Group. I expect to discuss this matter directly with our island councils and TMO in the next week. Reopening of our passenger travel to the Pāinua is the next logical step to including all of our people into our recovery. The government will be prepared to provide all necessary services and support to manage the virus as it passes through our islands. Our very high vaccination rate is the reason why we have had no hospitalizations to date. We expect that this will also be the case for our Pāinua. So our situation is changing as we overcome the virus, and I would like to again remind all of our people that it is still very important that we continue to maintain the basic everyday health and safety measures that by now we should all have gotten used to observing. This means continuing to wear masks where appropriate, continuing those good basic hygiene habits, get tested if you have symptoms, and continue to properly isolate or quarantine when directed. If we continue to all do our bit, we will get through this in very good shape. So stay safe, everyone. Have a good weekend. May God continue to bless us all. Kia ora na tātou katoa toa e kia manuia.